In a move that has sent shockwaves across the geopolitical landscape, former US President Donald Trump has called for Ukraine to provide $500 billion worth of rare earth minerals in exchange for continued American support. This demand, articulated during a recent Fox News interview, has ignited a firestorm of controversy and raised questions about the future of US-Ukraine relations. Trump defended his stance by pointing to the significant financial and military aid that the United States has poured into Ukraine, particularly since the onset of the conflict in 2014. Trump's demand comes at a critical juncture for Ukraine, a nation grappling with the ongoing conflict and striving to rebuild its economy. The proposition has sparked a heated debate about the nature of international aid and whether such assistance should be contingent upon reciprocal economic benefits. Critics argue that Trump's approach undermines the spirit of international cooperation and casts a transactional shadow over what has been a largely humanitarian effort. Supporters, however, contend that Trump's demand is a shrewd bargaining tactic aimed at securing vital resources for the United States. They point to the growing global demand for rare earth minerals, essential components in a wide array of modern technologies, from smartphones to electric vehicles and military hardware. With China currently dominating the rare earth market, Trump's maneuver can be seen as an attempt to reduce US reliance on its geopolitical rival and bolster its own strategic autonomy. The demand has also rekindled concerns about potential corruption within Ukraine. Trump has insinuated that previous aid packages may not have been managed with optimal transparency, hinting at possible misappropriation of funds. This allegation has drawn fierce denials from Ukrainian officials, but it nonetheless injects an element of mistrust into the equation. As the world awaits Ukraine's response, one thing is certain: Trump's audacious move has dramatically reshaped the contours of the debate surrounding US support for the embattled nation. The relationship between the United States and Ukraine has been marked by a long history of cooperation, particularly in the aftermath of the Cold War. Following Russia's annexation of Crimea in 2014 and the outbreak of conflict in eastern Ukraine, the US emerged as a staunch ally, providing substantial financial and military aid to bolster Ukraine's sovereignty and territorial integrity. This assistance has been instrumental in helping Ukraine defend itself against Russian aggression and maintain its independence. Since 2014, the US has committed billions of dollars in aid to Ukraine, encompassing a wide range of areas including military equipment, training, economic development, and humanitarian assistance. The Obama administration initiated a program of non-lethal military aid, providing Ukraine with crucial supplies such as radar systems, Humvees, and medical equipment. This assistance was subsequently expanded under the Trump administration to include lethal weaponry, such as Javelin anti-tank missiles, which have proven highly effective in countering Russian armor. Beyond military aid, the US has also played a vital role in supporting Ukraine's economic recovery. Through loan guarantees and development assistance, the US has helped Ukraine stabilize its economy, implement critical reforms, and mitigate the impact of the conflict. Moreover, the US has been a vocal advocate for Ukraine on the international stage, rallying support from allies and imposing sanctions on Russia to deter further aggression. The US has consistently maintained that its support for Ukraine is rooted in a commitment to democratic values and the principle of territorial integrity. By aiding Ukraine, the US aims to deter further Russian expansionism and send a clear message that aggression against sovereign nations will not be tolerated. However, Trump's recent demand for rare earth minerals has cast a new light on US motivations, raising questions about whether self-interest is now playing a more prominent role in shaping American foreign policy towards Ukraine. While Ukraine has long been recognized for its fertile agricultural land, often referred to as the breadbasket of Europe, the nation also harbors a wealth of mineral resources that have taken on increasing geopolitical significance. Among these resources, rare earth minerals have emerged as a focal point of international attention due to their critical role in various high-tech industries. Ukraine's substantial reserves of these minerals, including lithium, titanium, and others, have positioned the country as a potential key player in the global supply chain for these highly sought-after materials. Rare earth minerals are essential components in the production of a wide range of technologies, including smartphones, computers, electric vehicles, wind turbines, and advanced military hardware. These minerals possess unique magnetic and conductive properties that make them indispensable for manufacturing high-performance magnets, batteries, and other components. As demand for these technologies continues to soar, so too does the global appetite for rare earth minerals, making them a strategically important resource. China currently dominates the global rare earth market, controlling the majority of both production and processing capacity. This dominance has raised concerns among Western nations about potential supply chain vulnerabilities, particularly in light of China's willingness to use its control over rare earth exports as leverage in geopolitical disputes. As a result, countries like the United States are actively seeking to diversify their sources of rare earth minerals and reduce their dependence on China. Ukraine's significant rare earth reserves, estimated to be among the largest in Europe, present an attractive alternative source of these critical minerals. However, developing Ukraine's mining sector and establishing a reliable supply chain will require significant investment and expertise. Furthermore, the ongoing conflict in eastern Ukraine, where many of these mineral deposits are located, poses a significant challenge to their extraction and exploitation. Trump's demand for rare earth minerals has placed Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy in a precarious position, forcing him to navigate a complex web of economic considerations, geopolitical alliances, and domestic pressures. On the one hand, Ukraine is heavily reliant on continued US support to counter Russian aggression and rebuild its economy. Acceding to Trump's demand could jeopardize this vital lifeline and alienate other Western partners who view the proposition as exploitative. On the other hand, Ukraine is also grappling with a devastated economy and urgently needs investment to jumpstart its recovery. Trump's offer, while unorthodox, could potentially provide a much-needed influx of capital and bolster Ukraine's standing as a strategic partner. However, such a move would likely come at a political cost, potentially undermining Zelenskyy's domestic support and casting a shadow over his commitment to transparency and good governance. The international community's reaction to Trump's demand has been mixed, with some expressing support for Ukraine's right to leverage its resources, while others have condemned the move as predatory and counterproductive. Germany, a key European ally, has emerged as a vocal critic of Trump's proposition, arguing that aid should be provided based on humanitarian need rather than economic self-interest. German Chancellor Olaf Scholz has accused Trump of holding Ukraine hostage and warned that his approach risks further emboldening Russia. Russia, for its part, has seized upon Trump's demand as evidence of Western hypocrisy and an attempt to exploit Ukraine's resources for their own gain. Kremlin spokesperson Dmitry Peskov has accused the US of treating Ukraine as a pawn in its geopolitical games and using the conflict to advance its own economic agenda. Russia's stance is likely to further complicate Zelenskyy's decision-making process, forcing him to weigh the potential consequences of alienating either the West or Russia. As Zelenskyy grapples with this dilemma, all eyes are on upcoming diplomatic talks between the US and Ukraine. Trump has indicated his willingness to negotiate the terms of his demand, suggesting that there may be room for compromise. However, the outcome of these negotiations remains uncertain, and the future of US-Ukraine relations hangs in the balance.